1,319 days on new halving. Fear and greed sitting at 29, which is fear. We're having some good bounce from a previous extreme fear 17 was. And Bitcoin is currently trading at the 57k. Bitcoin is also bouncing from the bottom of a falling wedge. On a daily time frame, we had a little fake out there, but it was a fake out. We had a successful bounce, but again, we're gonna keep an eye on this wedge if it's gonna continue going down, or we're gonna have a breakout at the top of it, which would be again 69k on the current price, on the current trend at least. So that's the daily time frame. On the monthly time frame, we also had a bounce from the 20 EMA, which was 48k roughly. So that's the current TA. So on the news, or on other, in the previous video I said that we had a lot of red flags. What's the green flags? What's the positive green flags for the Bitcoin? I would say that we still have correlation with the previous cycle. I would say the yearly return on the yearly candles, right? So we're having like a one red year candle, and then we're having three green year candles in a row, which again, red year candle is mostly a crypto winter. So currently we're having a second, in 2022 we had a red year, red candle, then we had a green candle, 155 upside on a 2023, and currently we're still having a green candle. Again, year open on this candle was 42.3k. Currently we're having a 34% return, but again, it's still a green candle, so you can say that. But we're gonna be waiting how this candle will close, because the close that matters. And then by the metrics, by the correlations, the candle should also close green. So we're gonna be keeping an eye on that one, and also hoping that the next candle 2025 would also be green. That would be nice. So let's finally go back to the current news. So the current news that we got on the recent one is that starting tomorrow, the US Treasury will begin buying back up to 46 billion worth of outstanding government securities by the end of October, primarily to provide liquidity support. So it's again, we're gonna be printing more money, more liquidity, which would pump a little more of inflation, but meaning more money will eventually pump to Bitcoin, more reasoning to stay in a Bitcoin. Also, presidential election, we're having Donald Trump on in the US, obviously. Donald Trump on the side of Republicans, and Kamala Harris is the new candidate for the Democrats. So what's their positions or stances on crypto or Bitcoin in general? So you can probably you've seen in the recent couple of days that the Donald Trump was, or president, let's just say Republican candidate, been definitely extremely bullish on the crypto and Bitcoin in general. The recent most bullish thing he said was that maybe we'll pay off our $35 trillion debt by handing them a little crypto check, handing them a little Bitcoin, which again, that's extremely extreme upside you need to have on a Bitcoin to pay out $35 trillion with little Bitcoin, right? That's extremely bullish case for the Bitcoin, but still, again, this presidential campaign, presidential election is obviously going to be noisy, and it's going to be, and some of the noise is coming to the crypto, but bullish noise is coming to the crypto, which is great for us. Again, we're the more bullish sentiment for a crypto, for a Bitcoin, the better for us, for our portfolios, right? So, and more liquidity, more money will come to the crypto and Bitcoin in general, which is great. So on the most recent things that I found, it was Eric Trump, which is Donald Trump's son. He said on the Twitter, on X.com, I mean, I have truly fallen in love with crypto and DeFi. Stay tuned for a big announcement, which is, I guess he's announcing some crypto or token or whatever. Again, some speculating on forums that it involves Solana, or it will be some Solana token or whatever. Again, it's speculations, allegedly type of info. So we're gonna be keeping an eye on this one, what's the announcement will be. Again, the last thing I remember from a Trump family was some NFT project. It still works, it's still no rug there, it still works. Still okay. So we'll be watching what this crypto slash DeFi type of announcement will be from Eric Trump. Also, in the recent news, BlackRock, which is biggest whale out there, right? BlackRock apparently did not sell during the crypto market crash, which was, in these recent weeks. Apparently, BlackRock was hodling, which again, more bullish sentiment for the Bitcoin, which is great. So we did discuss the Republican candidate. What about Democratic candidate? Because again, we got two candidates there. So Kamala Harris is the Democratic candidate. Still said nothing about her position or stance about the crypto or Bitcoin specifically. So, but she said that Kamala Harris cannot cede crypto to Trump. That's the only stance she has for now on. But again, she's pretty early. Let's just say her campaign is at early stage, because it used to be Biden, but now we're the Democratic candidate changed pretty fast to new one. So I guess they doing some preparation for campaign for Kamala Harris. So they still in preparation for that. So we'll be watching, keep an eye on what's the Democrat candidate would have to say about crypto or Bitcoin specific. So on a recent biggest that everybody was been talking, it's been for quite a couple of days, that U.S. Senate advances bill to make Bitcoin a strategic reserve, which is Senator Cynthia Lummis. She been for a long time in crypto, been preaching crypto, and it was part of her campaign, of a senator campaign. So Senator Cynthia Lummis proposed a bill to adopt Bitcoin as a U.S. strategic reserve, sparking bipartisan interest in widespread public support, meaning that Dems and Republicans also should support this bill, right? It's kind of both in their interest, which again I think is and specifically approximately 60 billion should be purchased over 5 years, which is great. Again, more liquidity for the Bitcoin. What could be better? So on a recent other news that should come is obviously United States inflation rate or CPI data. Currently we're sitting roughly at the 3% at the bottom. The current bottom was 3%. And in the next week, which also will be Wednesday, August 14, we're gonna have another CPI data for July. Is it gonna be below 3%? Are we gonna break the 3% bottom, 3% support on a US CPI? But we'll see. But again, you see we're already printing some money. The money printer, the Jerome Powell is printing again. 46 billion. It's just not a lot actually if you're gonna think about it compared what amount of the money being printed in during the COVID. It's not a lot. So let's move to our news section of our news, which what does bears have to say about the current state or current state of the Bitcoin and current situation. So it kind of involves not just crypto, but the financial market in general, that the US yield curve inversion is about to end, which a bearish thing. They saying that this has happened like 5 times over the last century, and every time about 5 months after we had a historical recession. And somebody's saying that it is priced in, which again we're gonna be keeping an eye on this situation, what's gonna be happening after yield curve inversion. Other bears saying, if you were a regulator, how would you regulate the market? And this bear is saying that personally I would make it illegal to announce future announcement. Okay. Other one is saying that it involves Japan crash, nickel crash. So, oh my god, Japan stopped dumping for a day. It must be a bull run. Buy. It involves Japan crash, nickel crash, and the recent bounce. So we watch this, and another bear saying that that's a dead cat bounce, meaning that we already had the all-time high, which was in March, kind of a couple of months ago, new all-time high, and we're currently just on the way to downside or bouncing to the downside. So yeah, that's what bears have to say about the current state of the Bitcoin, which is interesting. We're gonna be probably keeping this section flowing. We'll see what next bears have to say about the upcoming bull run, upcoming bullish cycle, or cycle after halving, or after halving type of cycle, or after halving type of station, whatever. What they're gonna have to say about that. It's pretty interesting to read all of those ideas, read all of the sides, bullish and bearish. So yeah, that's pretty much it. To the moon, to the moon, to the moon.